All right, welcome in everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Trim Capital Partners TCP SuperSystem Daily Alert Summary Show. Going to do a pretty quick one today. Talk about Bitcoin, one of our favorite tokenization plays with some recent news, and then get into the TCP SuperSystem itself. And show you some of the alerts we got today. Look at some charts, and then we'll wrap it up. So we're sitting on our LinkedIn page here. Trim Capital Partners. You can see one of our favorite tokenization plays here is none other than XDC. And if you don't know Andre Casterman, I would highly recommend you giving him a follow. He's a key player in the space. And this is just them talking about their TradFi initiative, streamlining business to business trade credit and global payments with digital asset technologies. And of course, a lot of this activity comes out of the Dubai area, a lot of wealth over there. And really just to focus on, well, actually, they said they've got over, or they filtered over 230 registrations that included asset managers, family offices, wealth managers, traders, exporters, payment providers, key. And of course, all of this is focusing on the tokenization of assets and end-to-end transactions, payment transactions, pretty much anything you can tokenize in the trade space. And I want to show you something here. I mean, obviously XDC is one of those projects. We still think it's a sleeper. Not many people talk about it. This, was the R3 Corda kind of XDC token. But look right here. For all you XRP fanatics out there, they're involved here, of course. So when we see this, it's not a matter of them competing against each other, but they're working with one another. So just keep that in mind. I think both XRP and XDC will be large players in the tokenization space, and this just shows the partnership between them. So key facts. Then here's a quick one from, of course, Michael Saylor. Let's just take a listen real quick. It's about a minute.
Bitcoin competes with capital assets in the world, and there are $450 trillion of those capital assets. So think you own a Nigerian warehouse, you own 1,000 acres in Siberia, you own a private portfolio of Chinese stocks, you own a bar of gold. Why do you own these things? Because you had to put your money somewhere. So Bitcoin is replacing or competing with those things. If you look at the M2 money supply, I think the US dollar was showing as like 13, maybe 17% of that. And the primary competitors of the dollar are CNY, Euro, and JPY, Yen, Euro, and Chinese currency. So as the stable coin, as the digital currency backed by the dollar starts to circulate, that number is going to go from 17% to 30%. And what we're doing is we're really competing with other world currencies. And then the Bitcoin asset is less than 1%. And as it grows, if Bitcoin goes to $13 million a coin, then Bitcoin will go from 0.5% or 20, 30 basis.
You did hear that, I hope. $13 million a coin. Just want to make sure you heard that.
Points of the world's capital assets to 13% of the world's capital assets. It will still compete with real estate, equity, and bonds, but it will emerge as like a monetary index for long-term money.
It's from the man himself. And then this last one here, we've got one from another XDC network post talking about bringing ISO 222 messaging to the blockchain with XDC payments. So obviously this is another area where XDC and XRP overlap. Having 17 years in the banking environment, I understand what's happening here. This is going to be huge for the banks. It will allow them to save millions of dollars on cross-border payments, as well as get those payments executed at a much faster pace, freeing up liquidity around the world. So some huge opportunities here, folks. Then now we will go ahead and switch over to our TradingView TCP SuperSystem. And we're going to start with the actual alerts that we got today, which we only saved one, and that was on render. And you can see we got a potential trend reversal up. And actually, has that already disappeared? That's already actually disappeared because of the price action. So really nothing actually special to talk about there. Let's see, Bitcoin, nothing special. Solana, Jupiter. So I will show you actually Jupiter here. So this is one we've talked about here recently, but you can see this thing has been in a confirmed downtrend dating back to February 8th. You can see this red cloud. We've hit some what I would call our most opportunistic moments here to get in. This was your first set. Here's your second set with the dark green triangles. And these were, in both instances, occurring when our hot sensor got to the red, which is our most opportunistic time for that indicator as well. So when that lines up pretty nicely, it's typically a good time to scale in or dollar cost average in. At least that's how we use it. It's not, of course, not financial advice. So we would look for this here to begin to show a potential trend reversal. Once we get confirmation of that, we should be off to the races. And you can see here the the mean reversion indicator we have at the top, this fast line, the red line, it's actually penetrated up through that green opportunity zone. We're just kind of waiting on the longer term indicators to kind of follow. Once they reach kind of a little bit closer to that zone, we should see some fireworks. So we'll see how Jupiter does in the coming weeks, but that looks pretty good. Nothing for Cardano, Ondo. Here we go. So this was a potential trend reversal that occurred on April 9th, so yesterday. You can see we've kind of just came back just a little bit. We actually just had a crossover on the hot sensor. So, outside of the colors, the other main way we leverage this one is when we see those crossovers. It's kind of that area where we could start to see a potential trend reversal. Now, we haven't got confirmation yet, but we are pretty close here. So this one should be a good one to watch. Again, that's another one of those tokenization plays, partnerships with BlackRock. So one to watch there. XRP, nothing showing up. HBAR, oh, here we go for HBAR. So again, this is one of our largest holdings for transparency. Won't disclose the amount, but are getting a potential trend reversal here as of today. You can see this, peaked out back in, was that December 6th? You can see we were in that red hot sensor zone for quite a little bit. It did peak out with all these dark red diamonds. That's when we started getting our downtrend here when things started approaching back to the red zone there. That's kind of marked the peak there. Hit a downtrend. Now we're getting a potential trend reversal. Now we're just waiting on the confirmation, and then we can just get that crossover. That could have some strength here going into the middle of April. So. Again, HBAR along with XRP, XDC, all those I kind of put in the same bucket, along with XLM as well. So pay attention to the X's and the HBAR. Let's see, just a couple more of our favorites here. LinkedIn, nothing much yet. The Graph, nothing much. Pith, nothing much. Let's look. I know a lot of people are interested in SWI. Let's take a look there. Nothing much. So it's pretty much a quick and easy show tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you appreciate the TCP SuperSystem. It's proven extremely valuable to us as we look to generate alpha returns. Again, we are going to be making these public. We had to do some adjustments to our descriptions in TradingView, so they may be blocked at the moment, but we're enhancing those to provide more clarity. And then they should be republished here in a couple days. So be on the lookout for that. We're also going to be doing some training videos, walking you through individual videos for each indicator. So the hot sensor, the main indicator, and the mean reversion indicator. So we'll have 3 videos coming out, as well as a kind of a summary video that'll kind of wrap it all into one view, kind of like we do here. But that should help give some guidance to those that want to use it. And I have a feeling once we republish this, it will likely be a protected indicator. So you'll have to reach out to us if you want access, but there's many ways to do that. One way being through our LinkedIn channel.
Bitcoin.
And that is Trim Capital Partners. You can also reach us on X at TCP _SuperSystem. And then at Patreon, Trim Capital. So check us out. There's plenty of things you can get through a lot of those channels. And we'll be more than happy to sit down, talk with you, discuss the system, help you set it up like we have it, discuss how we leverage it, talk about any particular crypto or equity that you want to discuss based on the indicators, and we can do that. But until next time, thank you for watching. Would appreciate a subscribe, like, follow, share, heart, whatever you can do to help us grow. And we'll see you in the next one. Thank you.